Hello, this is Kim De Silva from Language of Relationships, and welcome to the Spanglish World Networks on Zingo TV, channel 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo app on the respective app stores for iOS and Android devices. While you download the app, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire Sticks, Roku and Roku Sticks. Also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. All right. Hello, Amity.
Hello. I get so excited. I see you. I get so happy.
I have a very similar emotion every time I see you and your multiple posts. So let me tell you how Amity and I met each other. We met each other, I think, almost 2 years now.
Yes.
Yeah, through an online networking group, and we just clicked. I don't know if it was Amity. Well, it's. I think it's all down to Amity. She is truly inspiring, and she lives her truth. She talks about her life. She talks about her lessons learned. Um, she and her husband Carlos have quite a tale to tell as well. Of well, because I'm not going to preempt Amity's story, but I'm just going to say that there were two people who knew each other a very long time before they finally settled into their wonderful life where they help others learn and grow from each other as well. Okay, so Amity Morales.
Amity Morales. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, it's been 2 years. I'm so impressed. 2 years have gone by so fast, right? We've changed so much. We've transformed. We've grown. Yes, definitely. Wow. So many networking, so many growth, so many journeys. Me and Carlos just celebrated 10 years legally married, 20 years together living.
Yeah, yeah.
The last time, because like you said, until we finally saw each other, until I finally saw him, because I was going against him without even knowing, but there was something inside of me that I would always tell him, we could get mad, but I won't stop loving
Right. But this is
you.
it. This is something that I think we need to talk more about. We can get mad. That's the whole thing, right? We love each other, but that doesn't mean we're not going to argue. We're two totally different people.
We didn't know how to communicate. Like, listen, I'm going to use certain words that are going to be very funny for you because they're used for other things and not having a conversation like you and me are having. So this is like the little warning. This is not a children, class or a meeting. But, as a woman, I didn't know how to ejaculate the words that I needed to talk to my husband about the expectations that I had about what a woman and a man relationship should be or look like. I didn't know.
Right.
Nobody never told me what I should expect. I mean, they told me find a man that comes like Richard Gere with a really nice big black, bookcase and suitcase, and when he opens it, there's a whole bunch of women, and Pretty Woman comes out the closet. And then I was watching One Life to Live, General Hospital, and All My Children. Let's talk about programming. Like, come on, like everything was perfect, but it wasn't real life.
It was not real life. It's not real life. It's not. It's not.
It's a
And
program.
mhm,
It's like, and then you come with a background like mine's where nothing was right, everything was broken. From my dad having a drug addiction, my mom being left in a home. She didn't have a mom dad figure. My dad didn't have a mom dad figure steady for him because he was a drug addict, right? So here you have two broken humans having children without fixing the inner wounds in the soul, not finding themselves before they decide to procreate and create something out of something broken. Think about this. How many of us are still doing this?
mhm,
So
mhm.
me and Carlos have been through a beautiful journey in this last 2 years of not just healing him and me as mom and dad, as abuela, because we're grandparents. We have 8 grandkids, 7 kids, 4 that I gave birth to. He has 3, his, mine's, and ours. And we're adulting because all of our kids are like 24, 25, 21. Everybody has their own, I'm not feeding kids. I'm not doing the running to school. I'm not I'm in a different stage, and I've realized that I ran to get here, but I didn't know what I was running to.
Mhm.
And in the rush to get here, I wasn't seeing my husband as the man and the father or my compañero de vida, my companion.
See, see,
I,
see.
I used to see him as, can I trust that person? Because I couldn't even trust my dad. How can I trust you? Because you're
Exactly.
the masculine figure in the house. And
Ex-
men usually have power and they're the demeanors, they're the one, the authority. And I come from this macho man Puerto Rican culture. You got to understand, they're macho mans. Like their ego is bigger than the body.
Right.
The macho man culture in the Latino community is like if your aura is this far, theirs is triple. It's like boom all the way. And it's a job to
It
sit
is.
there and realize, wow, wait a second. This is not against my husband, his flesh or his blood. He doesn't even know. We've been taught, disciplined, indoctrinated into this is how things should be, have to be. But I don't know if that was really the truth.
The truth.
I just ran with it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
20 years later, we broke apart to break back in together. But this time I told him, I'm not leaving. This
Right.
time I might look like a little Tasmania devil because you're seeing me going like, well, I don't know what's going on. Something's going on. I don't understand it. I don't know how to ejaculate the words I need to tell you, but stay here. There's something that I want to say that I don't know what it is. And Kim, I say it joking, but I've worked with over 100 and something women in the past 2 years saying, wow, Amity, you're right. I didn't know how to ejaculate the words that I needed to tell my husband. And when you say it's so funny, it was like, oh, it's cute, but it's true. I need to be able to speak.
It has to be it has to come out freely. It has to come out on its own. It
You
has to.
have to feel safe with your companion. You have to feel safe in your environment. My house needs to be a healing space.
Yeah.
As the woman in my house, I can't stop. I notice for me, this is my journey, Kim. Everybody's here for a different reason, right? My calling is my calling. And like you say, I'm transparent. I'm living a life of purpose. I'm
Mm.
really authentic because I might say things that you're like, oops, you shouldn't have said that. I'm going to be like, ooh, I have a childlike heart. I'm so sorry. I'm a little innocent when I say things. I have no bad intention. They just bloop and I go beep. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. But through the resilience, I
Hmm.
have created joy that brings abundance to my heart. And the abundance gets me the place to be like, let me speak truth.
Exactly.
Let
Exactly.
me create a safe space for my family, for them to not have to go out of my house, my temple, their house, their healing space to go look for healing anywhere else other than in mom,
Exactly.
other than in dad who created us.
Correct. Now, I think for those of you who are joining us, we've only been talking for about 8 minutes, and Amity has just this is Amity. She has gone all in, deep on everything and more.
From the root chakra all the way to the Christ consciousness, the Christ consciousness. I mean, with me, we go from darkness to the light. We go from top to bottom in a heartbeat.
All right. So let me ask you a question then. You talk about you and Carlos, you've been together for 20 years, but it's what is happening now isn't what you started off as. So how would you describe the difference between when you first started 20 years ago, and what has that journey been like? What has that transformation been like for you personally? And I just want to say, I'm asking you to talk about for you personally, because so very often, I'm talking to ladies and it's the same thing. They're like, well, if my husband would do this, if my husband would say these things, if my husband could act this way, then I would be happy. I wish he was more of something else. And there's all of this, it was part of the discussion we were having even before the show. It's that whole thing of moving the power to somebody else, waiting for somebody else or some external action for us to feel happy or to feel validated. But then it starts with us. So that's why I'm phrasing the question that way. What was Amity like 20 years ago compared to the Amity of today?
Wow. I've always been the same. I've been the same.
Mm-hmm.
When people see me and I go back to my country, Puerto Rico, and
Mm-hmm.
my friends see me that they saw me when I was 8, 9, 10. They're like, "Girl, you're the same person." And I go, "The essence of my soul is the same, but my embodiment and even physically, I am not the same woman."
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, and I'm 51, about to be 52, once 49 hit, it was the pandemic, it was COVID. I was doing nails, I was a teacher, I was in church, I was doing everything everybody told me I needed to do. I was people pleasing the pastor, my husband. I was people pleasing my mom. I was people pleasing my customers. And there was resentment, Kim. You got to understand this story. I'm going to go deep, right?
Okay.
This resentment of me doing for everybody, because I was looking for a savior, somebody to tell me, give me a microphone to validate me and tell me you are enough. You're more than enough, somebody. And this is in the subconscious level because we're not in awareness of this. Because we're in fight and flight mode. We're running away from the childhood trauma, from the depression, from whatever happened when.
Mm-hmm.
It's, when you're looking to the back, you're looking at what happened back there when that you're still bringing to today. And Amity was running away. So I was in the future. I was in the anxiety of tomorrow. I was concerned about how am I going to pay for my bills? I mean, I got 4 kids, no child support. I never did welfare. I didn't believe in the week. I didn't believe in SSI, child support. Like, I was really the type of woman that wanted to be independent, and I didn't want to have to tell nobody what I was going to do. I didn't want to ask anybody for anything because I was running away from a drug addict dad and a mom who was left in a home. So I didn't have a foundation. You got to understand how broken I was. So I make jokes and I say that's why I was doing nails. You know why? Because I was gluing myself all along for many years, little pieces. It was really easy to do nails and, talk all the shit in the nail salon, and people were dumping their shit. And here I have all my shit I was carrying, plus the thing people were bringing to me. Kim, we're not in awareness. We're not in awareness that we were creating this space. So
Mm-hmm.
when I had the breakdown that became my breakthrough, I realized that I was competing with myself for nothing. I was looking for somebody to tell me something that I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
The confidence that I was looking for somebody else to tell me, oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're smart. Oh, you do pretty nails. I wasn't looking for a reward. I wasn't looking for a microphone, because throughout my life, I've been able to be in places where people always give me the microphone. That's not a thing that I'm afraid of, or that's not a thing that I'm looking for. They just go, here, you talk. You talk good. Here, right? But it was something deeper, something that was hidden in my subconscious that I couldn't bring into the present. Like, I wasn't able to tell my husband, hold on. You see that behavior, the glitch in Amity's avatar? She's needing something, but she doesn't even know what she needs. So she would look in food, soda, clothes, Amazon card, Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton, Michael Kors, nails, eyeshadow, haircuts, colors. I was looking out of the body,
Yeah.
out of me, for contentment,
Yeah.
to be happy. But happiness is a choice.
It is.
You create your happiness. You create your own healing. You heal yourself. There's
Mm-hmm.
nobody coming to save me, because I know who I am. And I know that I'm here having a a spiritual experience in this human body, right? I'm
Mhm.
an energy being. I'm an energetic. That's why they do MRI, CT scans. You know, my blood pressure is the energy in my body, right? There's a flow, but we are not in awareness of this. We think we're human, so we start competing. Oh, let's see. Oh, Kim has glasses like this. Hold on. Let me get glasses like Kim. Oh wait. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I am now. I'm a healer. Now I'm a healer, and now because I wear this, everybody thinks I'm a hoo 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 shoo 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 shoo. And we started dividing by labels.
Mhm.
So some of us, Kim, are inflamed. The girls are on fire. And we're getting, inflammation everywhere because
Yeah.
we're looking for approval in somebody that they don't even like themselves. How are they going to like you? Tell me.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is why it has to start with us. It starts right here. Because nobody else can do it for you. Nobody. And you said something just now that I think we need to talk about a bit more because it doesn't get stated or explained enough. Happiness is a choice. So I find that again in conversations with women, we have this we're in this pursuit of happiness, right? Okay, fine. But we feel like if happiness is a final destination, as if we're supposed to. Hello, Leah. So please, can you introduce Leah to us, please?
Hello, Alea. Here's Alea. She's coming to say hi.
Hi. How are you?
That's my beautiful granddaughter. She is 3 years old.
She is, and she oh,
She's going to be 4 next month.
Yeah, I'm going to Disney.
She's going to the Disney cruise.
beautiful. Enjoy.
I gotta play with water, and
Yes, you will.
yeah, I will see Minnie Mouse.
Yes, you will. Now, are you seeing the happiness and light radiating from this child? And this is what this is it. And actually, if any of you, you'll have access to Amity's links and all of that. And one of the things, it's almost like if through her granddaughter, she has been rediscovering some of that light and that love, and you know, the things that you were denied or you didn't understand, this little girl is growing up embodying it already. And it's to keep that light alive, that happiness. Right now she isn't making a choice to be happy. She's just experiencing life. And it's to give her the tools so that as she gets older, and it's something that we can learn. Happiness is a choice, and it is not dependent on anyone else. It's not dependent on any circumstances.
We are emotional beings, Kim. Let me explain a little bit about this to you and to the people that are listening. We are emotional beings, meaning we're energy in motion. And your reality is your personal reality, and that's what Joe Dispenza teaches us, right? What happens with this is I'm choosing to break the generational curses of the lies and the education and the indoctrination that didn't provide the emotional intelligence that Amity needed. Because I wasn't provided emotional intelligence. I was educated to become a slave of a system that tells me work Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, and you'll retire someday, somehow.
Someday, somehow, someday.
Someday, because I don't believe in retirement, just so you know. I don't know what that is because I don't think I'm ever going to be incapacitated. I don't ever think I'm going to be old. I don't live in that reality. For me, it's a different place. I took captive all of the thoughts that were in my head and I put in order the storehouse. I went to my closet and I organized the thoughts that I was listening from my dad. That was his reality, not mine. The reality from my husband and his trauma and his parents' trauma, that he wasn't emotionally intelligent, putting in order, storing his house, making sure, wait a second, I'm really not angry at you. I'm angry because my dad abandoned me and I don't know how to be a
Yeah.
dad or a father. And because I don't know how to be a mother, because my mom didn't have a mother, I could be angry and emotionally feeling I'm disqualified and not enough as a woman because I don't have a child, or because I don't know what is the labels of the stereotypes of this system. We've been divided and indoctrinated to been separated instead of united in love. So when you ask me, we are the creators of our own reality. We are creating when we speak. Words have sounds, they have an emotion. And when you're hangry, that's what you're creating, you know? So my dad was hangry. My dad was broken. He wasn't enough. He was doing drugs. He was self-inflicting. I'm drinking Coca-Cola, even though I know this is a temple. I don't care. I know that's going to give me diabetes and high blood pressure, and I'm going to die, and my kids are going to suffer. But I'm still drinking and eating all the sugar and all the stuff that it's making my body sick. And that was the example. My parents never went to the gym. They didn't exercise. I mean, so many things that emotional intelligence was not provided for people that were rescued by Spain and labeled with a social security or SSI 666 number, that we've been giving a number, and we have divided our own house. I was dividing my marriage. I was breaking my own kids, and I thought I was doing the right thing, Kim. So when Amity realized, girl, you broken. You faking it till you're making it. You in the hustle? Oh, so you're the man in the house? Oh, so what's your husband, the wife? Oh, wait a second. What? You the boss? You in charge? Oh, so there's an issue with a duality because you guys are not in alignment. My kids were looking at a codependent mom. My kids were looking at a mom that's always working. She got to work. She got to work. And they were like, when is my mom available?
Yeah.
When is my mom present if she's in the hustle trying to be the man of the house and paying the bills? But it's normal in our culture because I'm helping. But the help becomes the control freak of the house. And everything has to be done as the woman wants. Men are broken now. So now we have broken husband trying to be man, trying to please a broken woman who's not doing the work. And my kids started breaking, and they were like, we don't want to have anything to do with you. We don't want to talk to you guys. Like, you guys need to fix this. This marriage is codependency. It's called religious codependency. It's called codependency to money. This is all we're codepending on something else, somebody else. I'm codepending on your approval. I'm codepending on you telling me, oh, you look pretty. Really? Oh, thank you. No. Lisa Nichols taught me something. She says, I got up in the morning and I liked myself, and that was more than enough.
Yeah. I got one like, and the only like that matters. Yep.
I am trying to be Insta famous in my home. I'm taking my husband to the Everest in my house. I'm conquering the world here and now, Kim. I'm not conquering the world out there. Because I can only influence 3% of the population, and most of them are asleep in survival mode, waiting for some savior to come and help them figure out that Amity needed to do the work within. I needed to be still and know who God really was for me. Who was the God I was worshiping? My husband, my kids? Was I really worshiping God? Was I worshiping the money, the books? Was I over consuming, looking for the answers out there everywhere? But there was a little voice saying, listen, Linda. Listen. But since you're running, you're not silencing the TV, the program, you're in the computer where screen time,
Yeah.
So breakdown comes. And everything falls apart because what's the worst thing that can happen? Listen, Kim. If I would have not had the breakdown that I had and my health would have been in the worst condition, my kids seeing mom in a bed that she couldn't get up, I didn't have a choice. That's what happened. If you don't make the right decisions, life gets you to the point where you have the breakdown, where you get the cancer. You get the diagnosis because you're running just like them. And when you get the cancer feeling, right, you go, wait a second. What happened? My heart is inflamed. and it's popping out through my breast. I called my husband and I said, something's not right. This is not me. This is not my pain, but there's eggs being growing in my breast right now. Immediately your life changes, Kim. Because until you don't get the call your son has bone cancer, you're like, what? What are you saying? That's not my son. I don't receive what you're saying. You must not be talking about my galaxy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Those things are going to shift your life. Those things are going to take your family, your foundation, and it's going to put it upside down, because then money doesn't matter. My landscaping millionaire company, how many cars, how many service, nothing else matters when you lose the health of your body and you know time is ticking. Time is ticking. What will you do now with the time that you have if you know you wasted time being depressed? Or you wasted time with anxiety, worrying about tomorrow. You don't even know if you're going to get to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to learn to be still. I needed to learn, like I told you, to talk to Carlos and be able to give him the right words and be able to say, no, not now. I need time. I need space. I don't want to participate. I don't want to be around that energy, because all human beings are energy, and some are depressed, some are sick, some are hopeful, some are joyful, and when you're around all these people, if you're not doing the work here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever is happening in your surroundings, you're bringing into your atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I was in a beauty salon doing 10 ladies a day and bringing all of that to my house.
All of that negative. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And most of them were dumping to me because I was the one empowering
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But who was I dumping to? So I started getting inflammation called fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting inflamed. I was always hangry. I was comparing myself, but look at her, but look at her, but look at her Facebook, but look at her Instagram, but look, and then I realized, wait a second, that's not my journey. That's not who I am. I am my own self person, and I'm not even showing up as myself with my husband because I'm not dealing with my trauma. And that's why my kids don't even want to talk to me, be around me. And that's we have a generation of víboras, kids against the parents, parents against the
Mm-hmm.
marriages getting divorced. I told Carlos, you're gonna have to deal with my Tasmania devil, because this time I might look like Hulk. I might be a little bit Hitler here. I might be a little bit Jesus here, but I'm not leaving. So you better ground yourself really good, because marriage is a journey, and you have to get a surfboard, and you have to be ready, because I'm parenting. I'm being a grandma. I'm the boss of my husband, the boss of my stepkids, the boss of my son-in-law. I'm an abuelita of all my family. So I'm not just being a mom. I've taken on a lot of other positions, and for me to be able to lead with love, kindness, I have to really do this work within, because if not, I'm going to break my family, and there's no excuse. I'm the wise woman that's edifying the house. Nobody's coming to save my family but me, because I'm the one that teaches them from the root. This is the tree that I'm planting a seed, and I'm planting the seed in the womb of a woman. That's why women's wounds are really, wow, like we got to really take care of a woman's womb, whether it is your daughter-in-law or whether it is my daughter, but a woman's womb is sacred because she's giving birth to a creature that's going to become a human.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know none of this, Kim. I'm learning, still learning. I would always live learning. I'm a student for life.
And that's what we have to do, because we can't stay still. And that, I think, that is sometimes what we forget, and that is why it is also important to remember that again, all, you talked just now about, life and marriage being a journey, and I actually like that analogy you made just now. Grab a surfboard, because marriage sometimes it literally does feel like an absolutely wild ride, and you just kind of hold on for dear life. Now, and also within that analogy, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
because it is exciting and it keeps you awake, it keeps you engaged, it keeps you interested, it keeps you connected.
In love. Let me tell you, at the end of the day, what's the story? Listen, I've been through the shadow of the valley of death and I learned to not fear evil. Because I wasn't given a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And the moment I started taking control of what I was thinking about my husband, I realized that mirror, mirror on the wall, he is the iron that sharpens my iron. And the more years we're together, the more I love him. The more I love the essence of who he is inside, because I go, wow, I needed his calmness all
Mm-hmm.
along.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, woof. And he's like, pause. And I'm like, woof. And he's like, pause. And we're like, the jing and the jang, we make that connection. But you know how long it took us to see that?
Yep. Yep.
To balance and get to the harmony where I know I'm not against him. We're
No.
one. We're one family, one entity, one business, one legacy, one grandparent. What he wants for his grandkids is the same thing that I want for my grandkids. It's our grandkids. It's our business.
Mm-hmm.
It's our house. It's not his bank account and my bank account. It's not his money and my money. It's not he got paid and I got paid. It's we are manifesting. We are co-creating together a life that we're creating because we're living in intention now.
Exactly.
We know that we were made for this time, and we know that we have been in a revelation that we are revealing, that we are co-creating as we go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now that I did this healing work of going through the shadows and coming out to the light and bringing the consciousness of my mind and understanding this is me. I'm not blaming Puerto Rico. I'm not blaming the president. I don't care who wins. It doesn't really matter, because you know who manages the finances in my house? I am the administrator, the CEO of my lifestyle. I don't ask for child support. I don't ask for food stamp. I don't have insurance. I haven't had insurance in 20 years. I don't know what that is. I'm 100% holistic medicine woman. I just healed tumors in my breast in 22 days. By going 100% clean, detoxing, not eating all, not exposing myself to all of this stuff out there, because it's not all for you.
Right.
I cut off. I got away. I stopped feeling like I'm a murder, martyr, that I got to save everybody. I'm not a savior. Thank you, Jesus, for dying in the cross for all of them. I don't need to do that again for nobody else.
That's
It's
it.
like save yourself and save your family, because out there is nobody coming to save me. So me and Carlos are now going, wow, I honor you and I value you, because thank you for holding the space and being willing to allowing me to surrender as a woman. Because who's Amity now? I like cooking. I'm always wearing dresses. I'm always in the garden. I don't work more than 10 to 20 hours when it comes to doing work.
Yeah.
I manage my time. I share more. I give more. I am more abundant. I have more peace.
Exactly.
And it has nothing to do with success. And it has nothing to do with money. It comes from a different place of, wow, if I would have known all of this all along, I would have paused and pondered to see, what is it exactly that you were running to? To die? To the end of the world? To be left behind, like Michelle Obama said to all the Latino community? Listen, if you're not speaking the language of the new age, you're being left behind. It was loud and clear on the Netflix movie. She spoke that. She said, we're speaking Spanish, but the American people don't hear you. So we're not hearing the Latino community. We're not speaking the language of love, of healing. We're not speaking. We're not understanding the messages.
Mhm. And one of the things that, as you describe how you are living now, how you choose to live now, I just want to, I want to point out that, you're not saying that everything is perfect. You're not saying that there are no challenges. And I think this is sometimes what we forget.
Listen, in this world, you will have afflictions. I mean, we're diamonds, and we're being a ceremony. Kim, this is a daily ceremony. Do I want to get up and do the things I want to do? Because the things I want to do, I do not do, but the things I do not want to do are the things I end up doing, right? If you know where that comes from, you know, but if you don't know, it's okay, but you understand the assignment. We are going, we're so much in flight and flight mode, and we're so much in denial that 99% of the population is faking it till they make it, but they look so pretty. We're wearing a veil. We're wearing a mask. We don't have the COVID mask anymore. We're wearing the mask of, shit, I have panic attacks, but as long as I don't tell everybody, it's okay. They don't know.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm going mini, 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 mo. Ti marín de looking way, cucaramacara títere fue, la del peo fuiste tú y te lo comiste tú. You know, most 90, I'm telling you, I make it a joke because you got to laugh about how the reality of the duality is. And until you don't take off the mask and go, girl, yesterday we arrived here from the airport, and do you want to know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. You think this is peaches and cream? No, 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 no. This is waves. Woo, woo. We got home, and one of the guys called, one of the crew guys calls and go, my wife is in labor. I got to go. And Carlos looks at me and goes, we have a wife in labor. And I go, oh, you know this was coming. He goes, yes. And he goes, what am I going to do? And he says, you're hopping in the truck and you're going to go finish the route. Get your clothes on. I'll drop you off. He goes, you don't have to drop me off. They're already on the way to pick me up. I go, fine. Kim, baby girl, do you think that because me and Carlos are CEO of our lifestyle, we're not out there mowing lawns? Do you think that after this phone call, I'm not meeting with the bookkeeper that we just hired and he's in training to make sure that he's doing payroll properly on Wednesdays? Because I make sure payroll is done every Wednesdays. I mean, I could talk to you about the lifestyle of a CEO. My days have names. They have times. Fridays are victory Fridays, because by the time I get to Friday, I better celebrate some shit is going on, because I've been through, how many times? You know, it's the real deal. It's the real. I'm not faking it. I'm being honest. I have nothing to hide. I'm transparent. Like, I'm leading right now a community of about 20 to 30 women who are with me on a 90-day challenge saying, okay, Amity, I don't like how you say it. I don't like how you're teaching it. I don't like your words because they might be rude, demeaning. They might be a little bit, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is that when you speak, I feel freedom.
Yeah.
When you speak, I feel like, oh shit, it's true. You know how many people I paid money from a networking community last year to do job for me for my husband? And nobody, I mean, I was being humble and nice because here the broken Amity is hiring employees to work with her, Kim. This is really big. Because if Amity didn't do this work and Amity was broken because she didn't have the foundation, she was bringing broken people all along. Here, come, I'm saving people. Come and work with me. And all these MF were using me. But I didn't know. Billing me, invoicing me. I was signing contracts because Amity, out of the willingness of our heart, the savior, want to save the world because I want to be good, because you can't eat from the tree of good and bad. Overcharging me, not delivering, not showing up, employees that are not available to meet with you, employees that only want to meet with you 30 minutes once a week, but you're paying them $1,000 a week. And you're what? You have title and certified with what? Let me tell you, nowadays, anybody can buy a certificate in Canva for free. So when people tell me I'm certified as a marketing boo, I tell them no. Show me your portfolio. I want to see how many people you really have market. Tell me where they're at. If you're a coach, I want to see the people that you're coaching, their successful life. Show me their Facebook. I want to go channel their energy. I want to know the truth, Kim, because it's only the truth that's going to set me free. They have stole from me. I've been raped. I've been punched in the face. You know, I've been poured gasoline in the oil tank and oils in the gasoline tank. Unfortunately, Kim, the only person Amity trusts is Amity. And because I understand that I'm living in a world that's falling, because everybody needs your money and people will sell anything for money, well, guess what? It is not peaches and cream. It is a journey of challenges. It is a journey of discovering, of limitations, of expectations. It's a journey of knowing how to speak up for you. It's a journey of sitting, no, I'm not ready for that. And if you're going to come and sell me something and you're going to give me a sales pitch saying, I help, if it says I help and then in the bottom it says pay me, that's not an I help. That's a fake person right there. Because if I help for free. Anything you need, you know me, right? You've known me for 2 years. I don't ask. I give because God loves so much the world that He gave me to help other people. And because I know who I am, I understand my assignment. So now I am awakened to the Christ conscious in me. And I go, oh, wow. The healing journey, I have to give. The CEO, the managing, the CRM, the developer, I do websites. You don't know all the things I've had to learn in the past 2 years because all the women lying and charging me money and never delivered. I do marketing plans, I do funnels, I do ebooks, I do calendars, I do everything and anything. I've run about 10 to 20 companies in the past 2 years.
All the skills, all the skills.
Because I didn't have a choice, because people were stealing and lying to me. They were stealing and lying from my husband. We're Latino community are very humble. We're very working, and we're always faithful to the God that we were taught to believe in. So we're being honest to God. We're serving God, not the people, but the people are using us not. So the Latino community needed to awaken, and I'm here with a purpose and with a very loud voice to tell the Latino, wake up, because you're being left behind. If you're not managing your home and if you're going against your husband and your kids, you're dividing the flesh and blood in your house by indoctrination. And love is the medicine that we need. We don't need to go out to a church or a building to worship a God that they need your money. God doesn't need your money. God never needed my money. He needed my heart. But I was giving the heart to a man that told me, come to me, I'm going to save you. And they never did. They stole, they took away, and they never gave. Until I awakened and realized I'm not at war with my husband or my kids. I'm not at war with my family. I'm not at war with my dad, who was a drug addict. He believed the same lie that I believe, and he disciplined me, taught me the same things he knew. He did what he could with what he had. However, Kim, Amity studied. Amity went and studied biology. Amity went and studied neuroscience. Amity went and studied the future, Demolition Man, the Exterminator, the Jetsons. Amity went out there and read the Bible, and the other books, and the books that weren't in the Bible. So I seeked and I searched for the information, and then I was revealed. I was revealed and said, oh, wait a second. This is just a spectrum. I'm creating my own reality. I'm not fighting for my kids. I'm here loving my family. It's not going to be pink. You know, it's not going to be pink. It's actually going to be real. Really, really real. Because the more real I am, the more authentic I am, the more abundance I have to give to other people.
And one of the things that I know you said just now too is that you have, I imagine you were speaking about La Tribu de Ella?
Yes.
Right. So
It's called Raíces de Éxitos. It's no longer called La Tribu de Ella.
Oh, okay. Raíces de
It's
éxito.
an announcement. We just made it here.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
You know why? Let me tell you why. It was a tribe of women that were rebelled. And
Mhm.
it was a tribe of women that were understanding that why are we so angry? Why are we so hurt? Why are we having to be the man in the house? And then it became roots of success because wait a second, you're coming from the wrong roots. You're planting the wrong seeds. And now I'm bringing roots of success because I created a network where I am the director of operations of multiple companies and I help women lead as CEO, but I teach them how to become the administrator of their houses, their bank accounts, their cash flows. And if they have a business, Kim, I help them here. Let me teach you what I know, not just in the spiritual realm, but in the financial, physical, human realm, so you could be at peace with your soul, mind, body, and soul. From the roots all the way to the crown, so you could be positioned as the queen of your house and you don't have to be the slave of the house.
Right, right. Now, I know this is another, I'm just going to touch on it a little bit because it's a huge one. One of the things that you have repeatedly talked about is embodying that feminine. And it's a giant topic, and it's one that I know we cannot do it justice even in 1 hour, far less than 2 minutes. But I think we live in this society right now where one, we feel like if we have to be engaged in the hustle, we feel like if we have to be in control, part of that need to be in control is that we have fear of the unknown. We're living in the, as you said, the anxiety of tomorrow. And the only way that we think, we first of all, we think we have control over tomorrow. So then we try to do all of these things and we try to assert ourselves in ways that we're not necessarily meant to assert ourselves. We try to preempt everything. We try to not just understand, but we want things done the way we think it needs to be done. And then we are tired at the end of the day. And then we say things like, oh, my husband does not support me. He does not appreciate all that I do. He does not see what I am doing. I cannot depend on him. But yet we have never opened up a space for him to take that role. And you said that thing, you made a very, very, very key point that I don't know that got picked up. You want to be the Tasmania devil, and then Carlos brings you back down. He doesn't drag you down, but he is your safe space. He is your grounding. He is your calming influence. One of my mentors calls it, he's the oak. I can be crazy and dizzy all around the place, and then when I need to stop and rest, I stop. And
When you do this work with the feminine, feminine is always the heart, masculine is always the head that wants to control. If you're in control mode, you're in the masculine energy. You're in the spirit of masculine of fear. And that's a low vibration. So if you're always in the head, you're very low vibrating and it's very hard for you to co-create when you're in the head space. When you're in the heart space, you're in the feminine energy because the heart always loves. The heart always forgives. The heart says everything it's okay. It doesn't matter. So a lot of times men are operating more in the feminine, which they're coming from the grounding, and women are more in the masculine and they're in the head. So during this journey in these past couple of months, one of the things that I have been practicing intentionally with Carlos is how many hours of the day am I consciously aware that I'm grounded
Mhm.
and not in fight and flight mode and in survival and in work, 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 because that's easy for me being in the masculine.
Yeah.
Being in my zen, in my gardening, and in doing the dishes, because being in the feminine for me can be sweeping and mopping. That makes me very happy. Fixing my closet makes me very happy when it's organized and I open it and I feel proud of myself because I did the work that I was procrastinating for a long time. For my husband coming home and finding a homemade, cooked, clean, vegan meal or, nice grass-fed steak, he's like, wow, what did I do to deserve to come to a home that's, has a nice candle and it's smelling clean? And my wife is very happy. She's open. In the feminine, my wife can be open and the man can come in and penetrate and release his masculine. Unfortunately, when the man is not releasing because he can't penetrate, because women are closed because they're in their head, because they're the man of the house, there's no fulfillment, in the family. And the kids know my parents are not having sex. They know. Because sex becomes your financial stability in the house. That's another subject.
That's a whole other subject.
Only for adults. For midnight live stream.
um, and one of the things that I think it's again important to point out there is that a lot of what you just said, it's you want to be in that space, you want to enjoy that space. I think that very often we don't let ourselves enjoy those spaces because society tells us those are traditional roles of women, that those are gender stereotypes, that's the patriarchy has created, that we have to fight against it. And I have talked to many women. I mean, I went to an all girls school, and I mean I saw it happening, right? Where there were women who wanted that type of life but felt as if it was wrong to want that life. So what they did instead was deny themselves that and go and do all the things that, modern society has told them they have to do.
I come from being the man. I come from producing, like I told you. I come from being the head, right? Now having Aleya as a grandma has changed my life completely because now I understand how much my kids needed mama home and not in the hustle being the provider and having to pay half of everything. Now more than ever, because I have this space and the time to teach Aleya principles and values based on my belief system and my culture and not what somebody else out there wants to put in her head.
Permiso, abuela. Mamá dijo que tú sí te hablas bien.
Okay, wait a second. So for me right now, having this time in this space matters because I'm building and protecting her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And because I am being her example, I didn't have this. My mom was working when I was working. My daughter has the advantage to feel safe and secure knowing my daughter's in a space. I have the arms, the nutrition, and everything as she needs, just like she needs it, just because I am choosing. I am choosing to be here. I am choosing to be present. I am choosing to heal my marriage. I am choosing to be a better mom. I am choosing to be a present abuelita.
See?
I
Exactly.
am even choosing to be a present mother-in-law because a lot of the relationships are really, really, really contaminated. And I was telling Carlos, it's not about good and bad. It's about what are your fortes and what are your limitations, and what people around you can give you strength in your limitations, and who can you help be stronger with the things that make you stronger.
Thank you. And I think on that note, that's a very powerful place to stop for us to stop for today, because unfortunately we do have to stop for today. But there's, as I said, this is such a big topic, and there's so much more we could put into it.
Yes.
But thank you, Amity. Thank you for coming and sharing, your experiences, your truth. Thank you for talking to us about, growing in love, growing in understanding, breaking that generational trauma, and for understanding how to truly embody that polarity in our relationships, that masculine and that feminine, and how embracing it helps us to grow even more.
Yes.
So, muchas gracias, Amity. And I'm
Exactly.
going, we're going to close off now. This show can also be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it.